I used to work at a record store and everybody would come to that store. JD would come and play his beats. This was the only store that had a proper system as well. I was up in there in high school. You know, I left school because Wu-Tang had an in-store. A lot of people, I remember Souls of Mischief came to the store. A lot of those little moments and stuff. But out of high school, I worked at that record store, and then I worked at a grocery store, and then I was on the road since then, and it's just been eating off my craft since '97. The record store was called Buy Rite Music. It's still open. It goes by another name now, but it was the one store where you can get everything from Detroit. You don't have to go to the suburbs at that particular time. You could get records from Detroit in the city. You know, things changed after that. But yeah, it was a great time. Great history. I learned, you know, I learned what house music was. I learned what real techno was. And I was in control of a lot of the hip hop. I sold a lot of hip hop music out of there, which kind of everybody else, you know, that was like my expertise. We had cats that were all into the electronic and jazz stuff. My thing was the hip hop. And it was cool watching all the homies come in, you know. Whoever, you know, everybody went there, so whoever was DJing, they would be there, or you know, producers would be there to buy, you know, breaks and different things like that. Yeah, working at Buy Rite was my education. For one, the headphones were always busted, so that's where I learned how to DJ with no headphones. We had 212s, a GLI mixer, and a proper sound system. But that's where I found out about everything, you know, what real house was, what bullshit was, what real techno was, what the bullshit was. And, you know, the inventory, like the Dance Mania lists and all that stuff, and just finding out just all the different musics. I spent a great deal of my money on stuff that came out. You know, whatever came out, I had to have it, and it was just nice. You know, being in that environment, you know, all those records coming out, and then there's records that I remember till this day, you know, and they're like special because I remember when they came out, whether it's, you know, house or what was that, like hip hop, but more like break type stuff, like Richie Rich and those, like the Nervous records and all that stuff, Kenny Dope era, all that stuff, Nubian Crackers, all that stuff, the whole Nervous movement, all those. I have a lot. Freeze. I did a project with Mo Wax. They owe me some bread. But yeah,